Hello and welcome to the Holistic Monitor and welcome to SAF training. We are covering the Promethion today. So we're all about the work of Joseph Scogna Jr. in 1980 on the periodic table of pressures, or the periodic table of elements as we know it. Today we're going to be doing a little different episode for the podcast of the Holistic Monitor. This is going to be a shared show over to the SAF training on the Promethion as an introduction. So we're going to go kind of cursory through the book and get some ideas as to what we'll find in the Promethion, what we consider to be a level 2 training book. Now, many have purchased the book. A lot of people that do bioenergetics and new quantum light and quantum sound therapies. It's very big for that, as well as people that are very interested in life energy and what the, what is the application of life energy on the body and in the environment. How do we find it, harness it, and claim more of it for ourselves? A lot of that is delved into in the book, The Promethion. So we'll be delving into the Promethion. I have the edited version from 2003 that my mom, Nic Scogna, put together. And you can see it's a very nice hardcover book, glossy surface, and runs right about 390 pages, somewhere in there. I do have also one of the originals, which is much heavier. It's just under 900 pages, I believe, and a lot thicker. This is from 1980, and as you can see, very thick compared to the other book. The formatting has changed. Some of the errors were taken out that were in the original, but most of the material is the same. It's just that when you change the font type and the font size, a lot of things can happen, as well as just the basic design of the page. So that is the two books. The 2003 is the one that we currently have. At some point in time, we'll be doing a soft cover book of the Promethion. But right now we have our textbook. It is a training module for level 2, part of our clinical course. We'll be adding a new single module for that in the future coming up. And of course, we'll alert you to that. If you're signed up on our email listserv, you will get the information regarding the new courses that are coming out per book. They're going to be coming out first with SAF Simplified, and then probably moving into some of the other level 1 and level 2 books. And at some point, the Promethion will be part of that. So what is the Promethion? Great question. The Promethion is a monumental work of that gives us a deep dive into life energy that my father put together, researched obviously in the 70s, and then completed in 1980. Some of these here, just so you know that we are Life Energy Publications, and we work to teach the science of life energy. That's what we look to do. We want to empower you to learn and know who you are, to take control of your own lives. Our goal is to increase the awareness of everyone, making a much more harmonious and potentially a more balanced society, just by the fact that we'll have more awareness and knowledge of ourselves and our motivations and our behaviors. So that is what we do, is we like to emanate and disperse information that involves life energy and methods that we can use to learn more about ourselves, and of course to increase our ability to contain more life energy. We have quite a few books, as you can see. We offer several books on homeopathy. We have lots of smaller books that are almost like flashcard. We have a flashcards book, but we also have fairly small books that go into the nervous system, the DNA, the origins of genetic behavior, pollution, nutrition, and mineral balancing, and quite a few more. So we're at 14 books currently, but we have a few more that we can put out that we're still looking to see the feasibility of putting out more material that is unpublished. Evolution of Modern Man, Secrets of Time Travel, Metabolic Triples, Remedy Orange, to name a few. All of these are just words that I'm throwing out there if you have no idea what I'm talking about. But we're an open book here, so you can feel free to reach out to us at any point in time to get more information on the books that we offer and what would be right for you, where you're at in your path, because everybody's in a different place, has different learning. If you're just starting out, we have lots and lots of introductory books and courses and work that involves teaching you the behind the scenes of all this metaphysical stuff that you see. What is the physics of life energy and of metaphysics? Well, we get into that. What the groundbreaking work of my dad was his ability to sew together all these different sciences from the east to the west and make it cohesive together. And then, of course, introduce it into the Saphionic technology, which is our program, the self-awareness formulas, which is a series of questionnaires and infrared scans that allow a subjective and objective approach to learn more about the person based on their input. The infrared coming off of the body tells us a lot about the emotional state of a person, and can also lend us towards learning more about the traumas and conditions that have happened prior to your place now and how they relate to where you're at right now. Whatever the predicament may be that you're looking for an answer for, the infrared and the questionnaires help to find the answer to those questions that you may have. So delving into the Promethion, of course, what we'll be talking about today is an introduction. It's really just going to go over a glance as to what's inside the book so you can get an idea as to what we offer and what we're all about here. So the Promethion is this large textbook, and it goes into the study of life energy and its relationship to the human body and the world we live in. So we're going to basically go into that. Now, whether you're someone who's new to the concept of life energy, or you've been here, done that, you're looking for a fresh perspective, perhaps, we hope that this episode will serve you well and offer valuable insights. So let's begin. The introduction to the Promethion is where we're going to start. And I'd like to start by giving a bit of the background on the Promethion. My father, Joseph Scogna Jr., wrote this book with the intention of bridging the gap between the complex and fast evolving field of electronics and the inner workings of the human body. He foresaw how the technological advancements we've experienced, particularly in electronics, would begin to influence our health and well-being on a deeper level. In the introduction, he highlights a key concern that while we've made huge strides in industries like medicine, agriculture, and electronics, we've also introduced new types of radiation and pollution into our environment. These elements have the potential to harm us, and we often don't fully understand the long-term effects. The challenge for each individual is not to avoid this new world, but to learn how to navigate it, to understand how our bodies interact with electronic and environmental energies, and to tap into our own life energy in order to thrive. One of the early acronyms for SAF, which is now self-awareness formulas, was survival awareness formats, because it was all about surviving in this poison rain that we're in. So basically, the introduction will set the stage for the rest of the book, where he unpacks what life energy is and how we can master it. So what is life energy? In the Promethion, life energy is described as the very force that animates our bodies. It's an electric energy that flows through our systems, much like the power running through a circuit board or a computer. It directs our bodily functions, allowing us to see, hear, think, and move. One of the foundational concepts in the book is that many modern electronic devices are modeled after the human body itself. For example, computers use electricity to process information in a way that's almost identical to how our brains work. This parallel helps illustrate just how deeply we are connected to the energies around us. The human body is an electrical system, constantly interacting with our environment, from the food we eat to the air we breathe and the radiation emitted by technology. This means that when there's an imbalance, whether through poor nutrition, exposure to pollution, or even emotional stress, it manifests as physical disease. But, and this is key, my father emphasized that understanding this interaction allows us to gain or regain balance. We don't have to be passive recipients of environmental forces. By learning how to properly plug into our life energy source, we could actually gain control over our health and well-being. And one of the key aspects of a lot of the science behind life energy is the sun, the cycle of life, and the elements. So one of the most fascinating sections in the Promethion is how we delve into that, the relationship between life energy and the natural elements, especially as it relates to the sun. So you'll find that in a lot of the work is, and we're maybe putting out a book, The Story of SAF, with an addition to that as part 2. Part 1 is already available, just not for sale. It's available in tape form. But the sun plays a major role, obviously, in all things life energy. So this, just as the sun rises and sets, so does the flow of energy within us will rise and set. That would be the cycle of life energy. He goes on to describe the periodic table in a way that isn't just about chemistry, but about energy. Every element, whether it's hydrogen, carbon, or oxygen, holds a unique vibrational frequency, and that frequency interacts with the energy within our own bodies. For example, the book covers how these energies are mirrored in the concept of yin and yang, which represent the balance of positive and negative forces in the universe. My father was deeply influenced by the idea that maintaining this balance is crucial for overall health. Finding equilibrium is what life is all about. So how we lose energy. We've talked a lot about life energy, what it is and how it functions, but what happens when our energy system breaks down? According to the Promethion, disease is essentially a condition of gross imbalance in our life energy system. Each organ, each gland, and even our cells are powered by this energy. And when it's disrupted, whether by toxins, poor diet, emotional stress, or even negative energy from electronic devices, our bodies can't function optimally. Chapter 7 is dedicated to the repair of this energy. My father discusses various systems of the body, the brain, the endocrine system, the respiratory system, and how we can restore balance to these systems. He even explores the idea of coenzyme life energy triggers, explaining how certain nutrients act as catalysts to help the body restore and maintain its energy balance. This is very important for people that are working with mineral balancing and nutrition, that sort of thing. This concept is still very relevant today, so there's plenty of people practicing these different modalities. And of course, obviously, our environment is that much more toxic than it was when this was written in the late 70s and the early 80s. Now, a lot of this was inspired for him. The key inspiration was 3 Mile Island and that potential nuclear fallout. That's really what spurred him to do all this and what got him started in all this. He was already doing nutrition, and locking in different concepts of ways to streamline ancient approaches to medicine or old approaches. And then the radiation studies really just completely opened this up, opened it wide. So he had the dropping of the bombs to thank for the inspiration, for the knowledge of all of this. So out of something horrible, something great can come of it. So becoming a master of life energy. As we move toward the conclusion on the Promethion, one of the key messages my father drives home is the idea of becoming a master of life energy. What does that mean? It means understanding how life energy flows through us and learning how to direct that energy consciously. The Promethion teaches us that we are not powerless in the face of technology, environmental toxins, or even our own stressors. Instead, we can learn to work with these forces, balancing the positive and negative energies, restoring harmony in our bodies, and ultimately thriving in this fast-paced, technologically advanced world. In the final chapters, he lays out postulates and diagrams that explain the mechanisms by which energy moves through our bodies and how we can master it. The ultimate goal is to help us navigate and flourish in the environment we live in today. So what can we take away from the Promethion? First, we are energy. Life energy isn't just a concept. It's the very thing that keeps us alive, the force that powers our bodies, minds, and spirits. And understanding how it interacts with the world around us is the key to living in balance. The modern world, with all its technological advancements, brings with it challenges that can disrupt our energy. But as my father said, the answer isn't to run and hide from these challenges, but to understand them, to learn the language of energy, and to become a master of it. The Promethion is more than just a book. It's a guide for living harmoniously in the world we've created. And for anyone interested in understanding the deeper principles of energy, health, and healing, this book offers a blueprint for the future. I'd like to thank you for joining me on this journey into the Promethion. We delved into the basics of it. Here you can see the layout for the E-laser of the different points on the body, contact points. If you're interested in learning more, I highly recommend the book. It's a wealth of knowledge, and I really do think that if you're on this path, that any kind of knowledge basis like this, it helped me greatly in my studies as I was learning these things. When I started looking into it, just think, oh, he's part of the family. I had to revisit all of this as an adult in my own path, so that I could approach it from a clean perspective. One of the books I helped collate, because collating costs so much money for these huge books that he was putting out. So the piles of page 1, pile of page 2 was all over, and we had to go through and hand collate it. So I was part of that. I was integral to a lot of this, but as a kid. And so I got older, I grew up, I had my own interests, and I found my way back to SAF, to life energy, to the work of my father, who I could just, would never have known that all this was happening. in my house. We are the Institute for Modern Holistic Alchemy, and this is what we do. We teach the science of life energy. We obviously provide the books, but we want to provide the training as well to enhance what's in the books with what we found in our studies, in our research, as to how to apply these metaphysical concepts into actions. So we have courses available and more coming out as we fine-tune the online approach to this. A lot of our books are courses unto themselves, so we'll be basically putting those online at a very, very economical cost for you. So keep an eye on that. Again, subscribe to our email listserv so that we can get the information out to you as we make it available. And again, I would like to thank you for joining me today. And I would like to offer our introduction course, which gives you a brief intro into SAF and the self-awareness formulas, from the history to the use of the SAF formulas. I think that for everybody to learn more about themselves, that seems to be the best course of action in most cases, because information always breeds better decision making. So again, thank you very much for joining me today. This is our cursory look at the Promethion, and the work is available at lifeenergypublications.com. You can find the book, and it is a textbook, so it's hardcover. And as I said, there will be an offering for a course to accompany the book at some point in time. If you purchased the book already and you're seeing this video, you will be offered that course as well if we can find you in our database for having purchased the book. Otherwise, the full price for the course, because the course will include the book. So we'd really like to thank you again for joining me today in this exploration into the Promethion. We'll be doing some more deep dives into other books as well, Project Isis, Nutrionics, Junk DNA, in the future. So please subscribe and help our channel beat the algorithms. This kind of information is sometimes squashed by the algorithm, so we really appreciate all the likes and comments, and of course the subscribes that we get from you. So if you found this very interesting and you'd like to learn more, hit subscribe. And until next time, my friends, be well.